We're going to prepare our papers and our fabric for our fractured glass sections. I'm using the Crimson Poppy pattern, page 16, to do this. The fractured glass is also a piece of the Stella Maris series. So this is what they look like, and we have a fabric yardage chart. There's only 2 fabrics, and we have 2 sets of papers, NP 774, NP 775, and we're going to cut them out just like we have been. The units get cut out with a little bit of an 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch allowance outside of the black line, and then the template layout sheets get cut out right on the black lines. And we're just going to put our template layout sheets, the 4 of them, in a separate bag for now, and we're going to put our M1Rs and our M1Ls into 2 bags marked M1 and M2. So I've cut all my papers, and I've got my M1Ls in my bag M1 and my M1R pieces in my bag M2. And we're on page 16, and our M1 fabric is the first one that we cut, and it tells us that we need 8 4.5 inch strips, and they need to be stacked. So with the right side up, I've got all 8 of them here, and they're stacked with the right side up. It also tells me that I need to use my template layout sheet number 1 and template layout sheet number 2 on this stack. So our template layout sheet number 1 and our template layout sheet number 2 go that way and that way. And we're going to just paper clip down each section so that they stay together after they're cut. I'm actually going to move it down further because I don't want to deal with the the very creased middle of the strips, and there's plenty of room on this strip to do that. So there we go. So we're just going to cut these apart and put them in the correct bags. That's a scrap. And you have cut lines labeled cut line 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't really matter which order you cut them in. Just cut them on that cut line. And these are our MR pieces. So they're going to go in our bag number M2. Scrap. And scrap. And these are our ML pieces, so they go into our bag M1. The next fabric is the M2 fabric, and it tells us that we need to cut 8 1.5 inch strips. I have 8 1.5 inch strips cut. They're all stacked with the right side up. I'm just going to take that salvage off the beginning. And now we're going to use our last 2 template pieces for this fractured glass unit. We have a template layout sheet number 4 and a template layout sheet number 3. And we're going to put them each on here just one time. Because we have 8 stacks, and so one template layout sheet is enough to do one fractured glass unit, and we have 8 units, so we're just going to cut those. I'm going to paper clip each section. I'm not being so persnickety about how perfectly they're being cut, because what we're using of each of these pieces is just the grayed out area that's in the middle of each of these sections. Okay, and so now we're just going to cut them apart on the cut lines. Section 2, Section 4, Section 6, and Section 8 of the MLs go in the ML bag, which is 1. M1. That bag's all set for piecing. And then the last ones get cut apart and get put into M2. Sections 2, 4, 6, and 8. That's it for the fractured glass units. Those are really quick and easy to prepare. Our bag M1 and M2 are all set to go.